On today's episode, we are going to take a quick look at Skillz. They just reported earnings. The stock price is down about 2.8% after hours, and that's after today was down about 4.2%. So let me just say there are some good and there are obviously some bad with this earnings. Just right off the bat, let me just share my overall opinion. Skillz for me maintains a tier 3 stock in my portfolio, and to me a tier 3 stock is a company that will always be a small position in my portfolio, but I do believe in the future growth that it has the potential to provide strong returns. So like I mentioned, today we're going to take a quick look at both the bad and the good and why I see still strong potential for this company. So the stockholder letter, if we start off right off the bat, this is the 22nd consecutive quarter of revenue growth for Skillz. That is insane, right? Revenue grew 52% compared to the same time last year, and that was mainly led by 53% growth in paying monthly active users. So this is something that I feel a lot of people have been talking about. We've seen it in a lot of different companies. Monthly active users. We have to understand not all monthly active users are the same. For Skillz, one of the major focus should be the paying monthly active users. And we can see revenue grew year over year, but it also grew about 7% quarter over quarter. One of the big yellow flags right now that I am going to put is paying monthly active users did grow year over year, but it kind of declined compared to a quarter ago. And that's definitely, I mean, I would say it's definitely understandable. Since a quarter ago, we did not have as many things opening up, opposed to how it is for quarter two, where more things were opening up. So less people are expected to play games and just be outside more. So paying monthly actives, big first yellow flag, something I'm not a huge fan of, has to be this, the decrease compared to last quarter, but still strong growth compared to same time last year. Next thing I want to take a quick look at is all the way at the end of their presentation, and don't worry, we'll go back up. They show a little bit more information on some of their numbers. So here we can see monthly active users is actually down compared to same time last year. So that sucks, right? I mean, you don't want to see monthly active users, but remember, monthly active users are not the main focus for this company. Paying monthly active users are actually up compared to same time last year, 0.46 million right now compared to 0.3 million a year ago. And the average revenue per user, per paying user, is still pretty much the same, about $64. So overall, still strong growth in paying monthly active users and about the same number in average revenue from those users. Again, another yellow flag I want to mention here is monthly active users have decreased compared to same time last year. And I do want to say that probably is one of the major reasons the stock price is down right now. The next thing I want to take a quick look at is how this company is expected to grow in the future. But before we do that, guys, let's take a quick listen to today's sponsor, a great reason why I'm able to provide so much content to you guys for free. I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. The Motley Fool is a company that provides investing insight and stock recommendations for investors of all skill sets and risk levels. You guys know I love finding new investing tools and resources to help me scout out new growth stocks. And right now I have a discount for one of my favorite services The Fool offers. Through The Motley Fool Stock Advisor services, you get access to a ton of expert stock picks. Every month you'll get 2 new picks that are aimed at growing your wealth and to help you realize your financial goals. Stock Advisor's average stock picks have done amazing returns. If growing your money is something you like to do more of this year, you can visit fool.com/Jose Najarro or click on the link below for access to my special offer and decide if the stock advisor is right for you. Thanks again to The Motley Fool, and now onto today's video. Alright, so the next thing I want to talk about is how I expect this company to grow and why I believe that it still has a place in my portfolio. So first, the acquisition of Arky. In quarter 2, they did announce the acquisition of Arky, and last month they finally closed this deal. So for those not familiar with Arky, this is a strong ad tech company, mainly in the mobile gaming. So Skillz has 2 methods that it wants to do with Arky. The first is kind of integrating it and kind of helping it with advertisement, right? We all know Skillz right now spends a lot of money on advertising, grabbing either more users or keeping that retention of users. And marketing can get expensive, especially if you don't have some form of platform to do it in-house. Obviously, if you do marketing outside with some other platform you don't own, you're gonna have to pay some form of fees and other stuff like that. Now that Skillz has Arky, they'll be able to capture that without kind of paying those extra fees. So I do believe that's a smart move. And overall, in the long term of things, I think it can help out Skillz, and they mentioned it's going to help them out in cost savings over time. And I do believe that itself would help out offset the cost that this company did on the acquisition. The second thing, and this is more of a long term, we can see that, right, this is an advertisement platform. So now Skillz will be able to, whenever someone wants to do game development in their platform, they now also have the solution of adding ads to their mobile game. So it's good for the short term, helping out Skillz kind of acquire more customers with less money, and kind of using that money savings to grow even more. And the second thing is to increase the overall solutions that they offer other gaming products. The second move that Skillz did this past quarter and is continuing to evolve is just investment in data science. Data science, they're kind of using it for machine learnings and overall helping out with their marketing platforms. Here they actually show a strong way of how they're using it. So let's say you are, for example, playing one of Skillz games, and you want to deposit $10. Let's say your account has no dollars right now. So Skillz platform is now going to think, okay, maybe this person just wants to enter a little bit of money. So if they deposit $10, we'll give them bonus cash of $10. But now they have a second user. This second user now has a lot of money in their account, right? So they're more likely to put more money into the account. So here they go, hey, if you deposit $100, we'll give you $50 bonus in cash. So this is, even though it's in the same platform, depending on the user, the overall acquisition type to grow more money into the platform has changed depending on who the user is. So I do believe this is another smart move for the company. The third move that they made is this strategic partnership with Exit Games. I kind of did a video on that 2 days ago or yesterday, I forget. I do so many videos now that I forget what day it was, but definitely check that out where I talk a little bit more about it. But it's more of overall expansion into more multiplayer solutions, a great move. They invested about $50 million for a minority stake, and they also now have exclusive rights to the technology. This overall technology, I do believe it's going to help off Skillz kind of save time and advancement to new genres. For example, this Exit Games, they already are dealing with stuff like first-person shooters, like racing games, and these are games Skillz is trying to enter into. Next, I want to take a look at the NFL Developer Challenge right now. So for those that are not familiar, NFL has partnered up with Skillz for them to kind of do a tournament, and the winner of the tournament will have a game hosted partnership with the NFL. So definitely super strong. They said they had a lot of new entries here. They finally selected 14 semifinals of these games. And remember, these are games that are going to be created under the Skillz platform. So overall, again, it's going to increase brand awareness. They expect to launch the winning game ahead of the 2022 NFL season. So about a year from now, a little bit over a year from now, but still, partnership like this can definitely improve the growth of this company in the future. The final thing is they did mention there are updates with Big Buck Hunter Marksman. This is a very, very popular arcade game. It's still in early phases, in the first phase of scale testing. So they're still working. Things are looking good. Again, this is a company, like I mentioned, that I'm not invested for this company for now. I do believe this is a heavy speculative play. A lot of it has to go where this company can go in the future. And me as a long-term investor, I have patience. I have no time. So even if we have crazy days like we have today, I normally don't really budge an eye or do anything with it. The next thing I want to take a quick look at is more about their sales, marketing, and operational review. This is probably one of the biggest yellow flags for this company. This is a company that spends a lot of money in advertisement, and we're going to see to grab users. So right now they do mention that this quarter has seen strong headwinds from rising advertisement prices, and we've seen a lot of these advertising companies kind of do really strong this quarter because more people are advertising right now as the world is kind of opening up. And with more demand, obviously the prices go up. So they did see that they expected a bit of an increase on spending because of advertisement. For example, in Q2 of 2020, so that was last year, a lot of businesses and a lot of companies were kind of halting on advertisement. So last year was a great time for them to kind of have low cost CPI. So CPI is cost per install. So let's say you are advertisement, for every time someone installs your application, you get charged, right? Some form of advertisement fees. So same time last year, the cost per install was a lot cheaper. There it is now. Right now, it is actually at record high. So one thing Skillz did is kind of reduce a little bit in some of their advertisement spending. For those not familiar with advertisement spending, there's two parts that Skillz is doing. First, they're doing what is called user acquisition, and this is pretty much your cost per install. So this is when you want new users to come to your application. And this is the one that really saw a huge hit. So kind of Skillz in quarter 2 kind of reduced this because it was a bit expensive. The other marketing that they do is what is called engagement marketing. And this is once you already kind of downloaded an application, right? Once you already download the application, you kind of get hit with promos or form of ads inside the game so you can stay playing the game and stay spending money in the game. And this is where they kind of increased. And right now they are saying that user acquisition, the one that's super expensive, is kind of be on a little bit decreased right now. They're going to be smarter on spending, but they're still going to be super heavy on user engagement marketing, which means these players are going to be spending more and more money on the company. So again, this is definitely a big yellow flag, right? On the amount of money this company spends on advertisement. And I hope that explained a little bit on how they spend that advertisement cost, right? Next, I want to take a final look at guidance and balance sheet. This company right now has about, at the end of this quarter, had about $692 million in cash. So even though this company is burning a nice amount of money, I do believe this has plenty of cash to continue its business and continue to grow. I am not going to be surprised if in the future this company does some form of dilution, some form of second offering. Again, I'm already expecting that. I already come with that, with kind of adding it into a speculative play. But as of now, the balance sheet is super strong. We saw right there, they're moving great moves into future products and kind of advancement their technologies. There are plenty of yellow flags that we mentioned today. So they did also give us an outlook for the guidance. Remember, they just purchased a company. So with the new company, they're adding about $13 million extra on revenue compared to what they previously guided. And if we're just looking at a standalone company, assuming no acquisition was made, they are actually increasing their guidance by about $1 million. So small growth, again, not much there. So like I mentioned, plenty of yellow flags. To me at the moment, this is, like I mentioned, a tier 3 stock. So it's always going to stay a small position. I think for the next year or so, maybe once it becomes more and more advanced, that's when I will probably go a lot heavier and make it a tier 2, maybe even a tier 1 stock. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Take care, have a good night, and see you next time.